This is Sports Scene. I'm your host, Larry Reed. Local author Isabelle Hamptonstone is set to launch her first book on mental hockey performance. She's worked with local hockey players and the Kamloops Blazers over the last 4 seasons and now releases her book this afternoon at Chapters in the Aberdeen Mall.
Well, her latest book is called Hockey Confidence, and it's a book that she has written to help hockey players focus on the mental side of the game. Isabelle Hamptonstone, we call her Iz, joins us on the phone before her book launch here later on today. Izzy, first of all, what motivated you to write a book, Hockey Confidence, and focus on a sports-specific problem many people have to try to improve their game?
Well, day to day, I specialize with working with NHL players, Olympic athletes, multinational CEOs. And I knew there was many more people that I wanted to help. What I noticed was prior to people working with me, perhaps they've tried lots of different ways in order to get that chattering monkey of the mind to quieten down, or at least to speak the language of success. I was at the point where I'd heard of another hockey player taking his own life that I knew I had to act. And if one player begins to reignite his own spark of self-belief from reading the book, then I feel like I've done something right in this world.
You've really delved into this. I know you've talked to many former players at all levels of hockey here to kind of get their feedback and see what they're all about here. So how much work, how much time have you invested in this latest production?
That's such a good question. It has been a 2-year gestation period for this book, longer than if I'd actually have had a baby. Not only was there a long time researching what specific techniques did I use with most people that they could use themselves that got the most success, I also wanted to share real-life case studies of people that I'd worked with personally and share their stories. So thank you to each of those people who've become case studies in the book. And then thirdly, I wanted to research in the NHL itself examples of when players had really come up with difficult situations and how they got through those difficult situations using the same techniques that I've described in the book.
I like it because it really is just not for hockey. You could put in any sport, insert sport here with a lot of the messages and myself being a golfer that struggles with confidence and anxiety over the golf ball sometimes. I mean, this is something that not only hockey players can take to heart.
Absolutely. That is the single most recurring piece of feedback that I've got from people who've taken a look at the book and do not play hockey. They've said, look, I can use this in golf. Somebody actually wanted to use this because they wanted to be the best couch potato in the world, and they wanted mental excellence, really dedicating themselves to this sport. But yeah, absolutely, every single sport has the ability to take this book and use it to their advantage.
I know this has been something, you're a hockey fan and you're from Wales, and you've been over now for a number of years over in Canada, but this is something, a labor of love. Could I use that term for you?
Yeah, absolutely. John, I was never supposed to work with hockey players. When I took the enhanced performance techniques that I use one-to-one, I thought I was going to be working with people because I'm a huge ski addict. So I thought I was going to be working with skiers and business owners and businesses, one of the great loves of my life. What I found was that by helping a lovely young girl, an incredibly impressive athlete, Ellie Turwheel, by helping her get mentally strong, she actually won North American Championships and represented Canada at the Sochi Olympics, and I was very honored to work with her there. People found out about the work I did with Ellie, and Guy Charon of the Kamloops Blazers gave me a call, and in his own very polite way said, Izzy, I'd be honored if you could come in and see if you can help the team. Now, as you say, I'm a long way from Wales, and I'm a long way from family, at least blood relations for sure. What I found within the hockey community was such a warm welcome. Provided that I truly helped the boys that I worked with, I found that the Blazers community as a whole, right from the billet mums, the staff, the players, the fans, they were so welcoming, so supportive that I accidentally fell in love with hockey.
Yeah, that's a great story. And when you read the book, you notice a lot of references to the Blazers and players that have come through, and some references to some good times. We talk about Game 6, as we all know what that is locally here. So, Izzy, this book is not only, I get you've written other books before. What's your goal with this book? What do you want to accomplish? What have you set out to do here?
Very specifically, this book was never meant to be anything other than a way by which hockey players can help themselves. What surprised me was guys and girls getting ready to step up in their hockey game loved the book. Players in the NHL loved the book. And what really surprised me was the players post-NHL that said, why didn't we have this book many years ago? So this book is a labor of love. It's really to help hockey players develop their self-belief in a way that will stay with them through their hockey career and beyond.
It seems that, mental performance in sports is the buzzword the last couple of years. It seems if anything teams are adding or looking to do, it's on the mental performance side of things. How much do you believe in that being a big impact on people's performances and whether they succeed or fail in professional or amateur sports?
That's a really good question. If we've got two players with the same physical ability, the same physical experience, what we find is that one player that has a quiet self-belief and is able to ride the roller coaster of emotions is far more desirable by the scouts and by the coaches, and that player will get the most will get the most ice time. And what I found is that, the whole world of performance psychology and my specialism, which is performance intelligence, is developing and growing every single day. And right on the cutting edge is some of the work that myself and my professor do, which is rather than just deal with the symptoms of poor performance, let's take a look at the root cause in the unconscious mind and train the players themselves to release those old mental performance patterns. Now, that's more my one-to-one work, but there's always things we can do that we can do ourselves, and the things that we can do ourselves are contained within this book. Really straightforward tools, tips, and techniques, and case studies too.
Izzy, the book is available through Greystone Books, and you have a pretty important afternoon ahead at Chapters in the Aberdeen Mall. Tell us about the book launch here today.
Yeah, a huge thanks to Peter at Chapters Bookstore. He was so welcoming for the book, and he said, have the book launch here in Chapters. And what I'm going to do is, after I've said a few thank yous and shared a few stories about how specific people in Kamloops have majorly impacted the success of the book, I'm also going to do a book reading so that people can really get a sense of how powerful the book is, and afterwards a book signing. So I very much look forward to sharing hockey stories with the people that want to come and want to learn how to develop their own, or perhaps somebody in their family or friends, hockey confidence.
You're always very engaging to listen to. Again, that's 2 to 3 o'clock today at Chapters in the Aberdeen Mall. Izzy, how else can people get their hands on your book here? How else is it available? Where can people look for it?
Good question. It's available at Amazon.com, and you can always go to Brain Train Win, www.braintrainwin.com, and sign up for the first chapter of the book for free.
We look forward to it. I know you're really excited. This is your 2-year baby, as you call it, as it gets unveiled here later on today. Another book for you. Congratulations on that. And we look forward to delving through it and perhaps taking some of these extra things with hockey into other sports like golf. I'll try it this weekend, perhaps, in the golf course. And we look forward to keeping in touch with you, Iz.
That's great. And John, thank you so much, and especially to Radio NL, right from the beginning of me deciding, this is a possibility, this is a dream, let's get it done.